Alright. So, one of the things about these stupid Mormons is that they have a whole world that now, like, voyeurs on everybody in government, and that they access all the speakers, and they also access camera eyes, and then if they have the microphone stuff, all that stuff, biometric stuff, even all the way up to a president. They have a whole world that sits around acting like they are allowed to be like unknown, anonymous, and that all they're doing is offloading all the information that any of those people are doing overseas. So let me tell you where their weird little side world comes up with little theoretics for this stuff. See, in their government block, in their weird satanic cult, they view anybody in the government as a Satanist. And that then, in some weird Satan S&M world, the Mormons essentially do the pedo sealing on people in S&M. And then, if they're in the government, they pedo seal based on viewing the government as a satanic cult. And that the whole idea is that they do this at the fucking Masons too, and the fucking Masons fucking hate it, by the way. And they call it Mormon brain firing, where essentially they sit there sound associating sounds to movements and shit all fucking day long, and they act like it would be some service that everybody would want. They act like doing slow forms of low volume psychological torture, which is what it actually does to the psyche. They act like that would be something that would just be normal for them to do. And then nowadays, they basically offload everything into their Mormon temple, and then the Mormon temple sells it all overseas as espionage. And so they seem to think that their little society should be allowed to be like pedo stealing on people and shit. They literally think that they should be allowed to VR stalk out of people's camera eyes. They think that people should have to put up with their fucking sound shit at low volumes and shit. They think that people should have to put up with their fucking stupid optimization, auto-tune shit of the microphone and shit. And they even start fucking with the biometric body kit shit. They find the most psychotic, stupid, craziest fucking people. And then they cuck them to somebody's speakers and eye cameras and microphones and biometric kits. And so then they sit around going, yeah, it's a satanic cult and moments the burns for the Satanists. And so they're terrorists, okay? That's like where their relentless pursuit and refusal to stop cucking on everyone is literally what makes them terrorist groups. The things that they do psychologically to people are literally top level, like psychoticness. Right? So, this is where, when I was doing my research, I saw them accessing people's speakers, doing that Mormon Mason brain cuck shit. And people telling them to fuck off and them refusing and constantly doing the sounds and constantly forcing people to blackmail and then doing it more and then doing it more and then doing it more and then doing it more. Okay? That's what they do. That's what their fucking stupid church has turned into. And that is who causes that problem in the speakers. That is what causes the problem in information and stuff not being secure. They and their dumb Mormon temples sit around doing that shit all fucking day and night. They have probably 10,000 people easily, highly trained at doing that shit all over Utah. See, in like 2017, essentially they got into the dark web that I was talking about, and then they all did all the Satanism. And then that's literally how they all got access to the pedo system. And then that is what they're busy doing. And see, it's gotten so delusional that their whole Mormon community literally sits around acting like everybody's brain is controlled by them. And that then they seem to think that everybody will just accept some psychotic group of fucking weird fucks, constantly thinking that everybody will view them as the psyche behind somebody's psyche. See, they even attempted to do this idea about me in my fucking videos. When I scratch my face, they act like they're causing me to scratch my face and shit. See, anybody that would be so psychotic as to be convincing people of controlling somebody's hands and shit and mind in every way, that is where they're sociopaths that essentially were allowed to do that stuff because they seemed seemingly normal, and the Donald Trump administration was allowing them to do pedo seal with certain Republicans and shit. But then people started getting sound tortured by all of them. They refused to fucking stop. And so then psychological like tests were done on all of them, and all of them fail every single fucking time. And then they just refuse to stop doing the pedo sealing shit. And so the military guys that would normally just shoot them in the head, Mormon found a counter-op to all of this by basically getting 10,000 Mormon mothers and little children and dumb old fucking farts and shit, and respected pedophiles in their Mormon community to be busy doing it all the time. And so what used to be like one dumb, infatuated little secret Nazi Mormon doing it at a Mason or something has now turned into whole huge groups of people that literally sit around torturing people to death. See, this is what happens when a pedo-band cult of ultimate Satanism reaches the end. This is what the new ways are. This is like what these S&Ms do. This is like what they all do. And all Mormon does is find all these other S&M systems. They pull in all of their pedo sealers. They shove them on everybody's speaker. And then they start torturing everybody into basically being a Satanist like them so that they don't go to prison. See, they won't stop until everybody like rapes and kills children and shit. Because that's what they all did. That's what the end is. So, the whole idea is that they sit around trying to act innocent in their like scripted little naive Mormon way, fully knowing that you people are doing that stuff. And that there's nothing naive about any of you anymore. You people can't sit there and act like you guys are fucking wholesome and naive while you guys sit around torturing people to death and then speaking in ghost ways through other people's mouths and shit. See, your guys' veneer of being wholesome is over. You people can't turn into this nice people. You people have lost that ability in all fucking ways. So, you guys have messed up your guys' counter-op, and then basically you guys, when you don't get your way, you guys just start calling everybody a Nazi if they're white. And then, hey, are you guys all Nazis? Because, yeah, Mormon, you know, your relentless ghost shit is pretty much being live broadcasted nowadays. And so your secret veil's not secret anymore. And then Yeah, you guys are still doing the same thing that you guys were doing in secret. So if the world like made your guys' cybersecurity of that stuff again, you guys would just still do it like relentless terrorists that never stop doing something until you guys get your way. And that here's literally where I know what they want. See, they fundamentalist Mormonism is damn near most Satanism. To get to Kolob under Joseph Smith's stupid fucking Satan book is to do most fundamental Mormonism. And so then everybody in secret wanted to go to Kolob. And so then huge droves of dumb Mormons were basically pummeled themselves through satanic S&M. And then in the end, the methods of Satanists that take it all the way to the end is to basically, nowadays, they torture everybody that they can into switchy bitching them. And then they want to sit there and blame everybody else. They literally will continue to torture people in a terrorist way, and they'll continue to do Satanism until somebody switchy bitches them. And that's how simpleton fucking Satanists are. There's nothing different about them than anybody else. I found sleazy S&M clubs that were doing the same fucking thing. And that they expect people to switchy bitch them, or they'll blackmail and sound torture and extort and control and manipulate everybody until they get what they want. And that basically nowadays a bunch of fucking entitled like dumb Mormon moms that were busy banging their own kids and shit. Basically. And so this is, well, I just want people to realize that here is the beginning of the demise of the Mormon religion. Right? And so essentially what they do is going to be so constantly blatant all the time that it'll essentially destroy their religion in all fucking ways. And then they'll go by the wayside like any other stupid ass fucking satanic cult. Okay? And this is what it is. This is why they have these Mormon temples. The Mormon temples are merely a fortress for them to do their fundamental Mormonism shit behind, you know, the authentic way is for them to do that stuff out open in front of everyone. And so they don't get the kolob when they pedo bang in their temple. And so this is what it is about a stupid satanic cult. Just like the death mentally kind of Satanists, they don't get to hell unless they basically, unless at 2:22 in the afternoon, they are supposed to gather all of the Masonic Society, and they're supposed to go to a prairie tree and do ultimate 9 gates of hell in front of everyone. And that is basically what satanic cults do, okay? And so, pretty much, once they get to the end, they usually won't do that because they like to do this ghost method behind the scenes shit. But essentially, every single satanic cult is exactly the fucking same. These Mormons are no different. You people have blatantly shoved that stuff in people's faces all over the world for so many, like the last 5 years, that you people should just realize that nothing you people say would mean anything. You know? It's like, this stuff was happening so often, and like the Donald Trump administration, you know, their go-to is to like build a cover up, but then it's like where the moment you cover it up, then they're not being blatant. It's like the Tea Party's like the same now. See, they don't want it not seen. They want people to see that they blatantly got away with Satanism. That's part of it. So it's like every time that they start whining about needing a cover up, that's when they'll literally sabotage it just to be blatant. Because essentially they're all in somewhat of like a tech psycho system. And so when they're blatant, And that has them pulling in money and blackmails and stuff. And that when they get like the profile that covers that stuff up, then they drop. And then that's like where they aren't able to do the stuff that they're all infatuated about and shit. See, they're infatuated with doing Satanism. And so some might just, like all these Mormon moms, all they want to do is sit there and pedo steal on everybody's kid everywhere. If they have like speakers or something, they just want to pedo steal. And they want to talk train them. They want to tell them what to think and what to do all the time. It's sick. They're a sick Satan cult. The more they act like innocent and shit about it, they don't respect anybody. They don't respect anybody's privacy. They don't do what anybody says to do. All they do, like these Mormon moms, are just sick as fuck. What they're doing, they'll find these kids that have these speakers. They'll start basically telling them what to think and say. And that then, if you turn that stuff off, a lot of the times the kids are just sitting around waiting for their speaker to tell them what to think and say. And see, that's sick shit. And see, then they say, well, they're not going to be able to take bananas. This is the sick shit. This is the sickest shit. This is the stuff that, like, when I saw that, you know, it's like, when I saw people doing that type of shit, that's where my first go-to was to tell the dumb world. Because that kind of sick shit is usually the people that get shot in the fucking head for that shit. You know, that would have been my preferred theory on that. But they counter-opted by basically overwhelmingly, like, outfitting all of their victims and shit in secret and all that stuff. They're just like a sick. And it's like, goes beyond. They're like even sicker than fucking Nazis, okay? They just act really nice. And then they like relentlessly torture people in low volumes and shit and won't fuck off. So just because somebody acts all nice and wholesome doesn't mean shit. What you people are doing is sick fuck. So, next time you guys think that your guys' little weird, nubbly, furry shit and all of your guys' little Mormon mom pedo stealing on everybody's kid that isn't Mormon and shit, you people, if you guys isolate that shit back to your stupid little fucking cult and only do that stuff internally with your own fucking people. And no, Mormon, your semantics about including everybody with your guys' wholesome Satanism. Just remember, Mormon, nobody outside of your guys' stupid ass cult views any of you as Christians. The Tea Party just tried to scam all of you out of money. You know, those people, if they were in their church and if their fucking minister came up to them and was like, do you think Mormon's a fucking Satanist? They would tell their minister the truth. They would. And so, this is what it is about dumb Satanists that refuse to accept reality. You guys built a complete false testament about Jesus. And that then you guys are preaching that stuff. And then your guys' weird Jew temple shit, all that stuff. You people need to realize most other religions view you all as Satanists. They're just too nice to admit it in this way. And so, you people should just realize that just because you guys took over a whole state and psychotically control everything with fucking blackmails and sound tortures and shit. You're just doing what Satanists do.